Hey everyone, today I just want to demonstrate an exercise called the Zercher Deadlift. And this particularly form of Zercher Deadlift, we're going to do it from a rack, from pins. Here I have it set up on the safeties on my rack. But basically it's an elevated deadlift, right? We could do a deadlift from the floor traditionally. You could do that with a Zercher style, which I'll explain in a second. But this brings the bar up the floor a little bit, lessens the range of motion for those that are just beginning with this. So it's a good exercise. And really, the Zercher deadlift is going to be a little bit controversial because it involves rounding your back a little bit. And traditionally, that's not, or can be a bad thing in a traditional deadlift. But here we're going to be using a lighter load because of the way we're positioning the bar, etc. It's a good functional exercise because if you think about it, and I know the word functional is also controversial, but if you think about it, lots of times when you pick things up off the ground, you're actually not doing it in a perfect deadlift form. You're rounding your back to pick things up, bags of dog food or kids or groceries or whatever. You don't squat down a perfect deadlift form or bend down perfect deadlift form to lift up the thing. You just bend over and pick it up, right? And that's because you're not pulling. Typically, your kids don't weigh 400 pounds, right? They weigh 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, stuff like that. That's a little bit more of a functional deadlift. Zercher basically means you're going to put the bar in the crooks of your elbow here. Instead of grabbing the bar with your hands, you're going to put it in the crooks of your elbow, and you're going to deadlift it from there. Here I'm using an axle bar, and the reason why I'm using an axle bar is because it's thicker, and that means it digs into your elbows a little bit less, so it can make it a little bit less uncomfortable. That becomes more of an issue the heavier the weight you use, but you can do it with a regular barbell as well. So, but if you have access to an axle bar, which is really just a thick barbell, you can use that, which would be a little bit more comfortable. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to round your back down. You're going to hinge like you normally would, but you're also going to round your back, and you're going to put that barbell right in the crooks of your elbow, and you're going to stand up like this, right? Then hinge back down and up. You can adjust the height at which you're picking the barbell up off of to whatever feels comfortable. If you tend to have lower back issues, your back tends to bother you doing traditional deadlifts, maybe you start with a higher pick point and you can lower it down as you feel more and more comfortable. So you can play with that. There's no one set height. I would actually personally move this up a little bit more, but I just have the safety set like this because that's where I had them and I didn't think to adjust them. Play with the height based on how you feel it. You also play with your stance a little bit. You can have a more narrow stance. Some people prefer a more wider stance or a sumo stance, which may be more comfortable. You can get your arms in between your legs a little bit more with a sumo stance. Play with that. That might feel better for you as well. But so play with your stance, play with the height. Try an axle bar if you have one. If not, you can use a regular bar. If you have fat grips, which are things that just make a regular bar thicker, they're rubber things. Google fat grips, FATGRIPZ. That's how you spell it. You'll find them on Amazon. They cost between $20 and $30. Get the blue ones. Typically they work the best. And you can wrap those around the bar, a regular barbell, and put them in the crooks of your elbow. And that basically emulates what we do here with the same benefits of an axle bar. If you don't have, that would be another tip. But start light, get feel for the movement, and then add more weight, adjust the height, play with your stance, and try it out and see how it works. It's definitely a different form of that deadlift. You want to feel it in the posterior chain just like you normally would with a deadlift movement. But again, you can round your back a little bit more. You're supposed to round your back a little bit more. So a little bit more of a functional movement. So try it out. Let me know what you think. And thanks.